Hi, in this video, we will discuss about exception handling in Java. So what do you mean by exception handling in Java? We will see. So before that, what exactly an exception is? Okay, an exception is an unwanted or unexpected event which occurs during the execution of a program, that is at runtime, that disrupts the normal flow of the program's instructions. So you have written one program and obviously you will expect that program will execute smoothly, successfully. But in any one of the lines or statements, it means there might be an unexpected event or unwanted event will happen, and that disrupts your normal flow of the execution, means it will not successfully execute your program. So that is called an exception. Okay, unwanted or unwanted or unexpected event, okay, in your execution. So that is called exception. So exception examples in day-to-day life. So in our day-to-day life also, we might see some of the things. So when you start your day, you feel that everything will goes fine, right? But sometimes what will happen? So you need to pay something to somebody, but you insufficient balance in your bank account. Okay, you'll not have sufficient money. So whatever you expect in this day might not be that smooth. So you are traveling to somewhere and suddenly your car tire got punctured. So because of that, you cannot travel to the destination smoothly. So power off while watching the World Cup match. So you are watching World Cup match, but suddenly power off. So you'll not expect that. So because of that, what you are expecting, you want to see the match, but suddenly power gone. So you cannot continue how you expected. So these are all the exceptions in your day-to-day life. So when you're coming to the programming, so if you talk about the Java programming, what are the exceptions will happen? So opening an unavailable file. So there is a file, but that is not available at present, but you try to open that file. You feel that there is a file, but unexpectedly there is not, that file is not available, but you're trying to open the file using your code. And the same way, reading data from the unavailable file and writing data to an unavailable file. So loss of network connection. You are executing something, but there is a loss of network. So whatever you expected will happen, how you expected. So invalid user input. So these are all very common, no exceptions will happen in your programming. Okay. So now what is exception handling? Right, till now we have seen what is exception. Exception is that will disrupt your normal flow. But what is exception handling? The exception handling in Java is one of the mechanisms to handle the runtime errors so that the normal flow of the application can be maintained. So obviously something is not going properly. You want to set that. So you want to maintain that properly. So with the help of exception handling, with that mechanism, you will handle your runtime errors. And because of that, your application flow will be normal. So normal flow of the application can be maintained. How you do that, that we will discuss. Okay. But when you go back to the previous slide here, so I'm saying insufficient balance in bank account, right? So that time what you will do, you might get some money from one of your friends and you can arrange that time. Okay. So that is you're maintaining that exception. You are handling that exception with this resolution. Okay. Car tire got punctured. You might have an extra tire, right? With the help of that extra tire, you will manage the time. So power off while watching the World Cup. You might watch in your mobile, otherwise you will have a power backup. So with the help of that, you can manage that. So this is how you can handle your exceptions. In the same way, in the programming also, you can handle this type of exceptions. So opening an unavailable file. So you're trying to read one file. So if that file is not available, read from here. Something like that you can manage. Okay. So loss of network, you can manage some backup and invalid user input. So if you give some invalid user input, so if it is not proper, if you're not getting the proper input, so instead of that, use this predefined input, something like that. Okay. So this is how you can manage means you can handle your exceptions. So what is the advantage when you go for exception handling, right? So exception handling ensures that the flow of the program is maintained when an exception occurs. So that is what we are seeing, right? Some exception happens, but with the help of exception handling, how you expecting to execute your program, how smoothly you want to execute, so that you can achieve. By this, we can identify the types of errors. So you'll come to know that what kind of exceptions or errors will happen in your come in your program. By this, we can write the error handling code separately from the normal code. So to handle this error code, we'll use some separate blocks, all these things that we will see in our next videos, but that code is separated from the normal code. Providing meaningful message to the user. So sometimes what happens, something is happen. So system will give some output to the user, but that may not be understood by the user. So with the help of exception handling, a meaningful message can be passed to the user. So with the help of that message, you can understand, okay, what happened, why, because this is happening, this exception is happening, that will come to know. Okay, these are all advantages when you talk about exception handling. So what could be the possible interview? So what is an exception? So we already discussed exception is unwanted or unexpected event occurred in your program flow. So what is exception handling in Java? So how you make it, your program execute smooth. So that is called exception handling. So examples of exceptions. So we have seen that, we are trying to read the unavailable file, giving wrong user input, invalid input, something like that. So advantage of exception handling. So we just saw that, right? So you can explain all these things as part of exception handling. Okay. So that's all in this video. Thank you.